So we all know Jim Boylen sucks, but we got more confirmation because of a Lowry marketing quote, and I just want to talk about it for a little bit. I'm probably not going to go 10 minutes or whatever on this one, but similar to when the Suns owner said some dumb things, I want to make fun of Jim Boylen as well. So Boylen basically told Lowry Markkanen that if he wants more touches, he should get more rebounds, and Boylen is basically ignoring the fact that Markkanen is a 7-footer who can shoot and who can dribble. And he's a guy who you can use in millions of ways in the half court, right? In the sense of he can set screens on the ball, he can set them off the ball, you can have him get some elbow touches, you could probably have him run like some form of floppy plays. Maybe not strict floppy plays because he might not be fast enough for that, but like Karl Anthony Towns has run a play where he gets a screen and then he goes into the corner and bigs just don't know how to defend it at all. And I feel like you could do a very similar thing with Markkanen, right? Boylen is not capable of understanding any of that. He just sees this power forward, 7-foot dude, so he just immediately thinks, well, it's your job to grab rebounds, which is such an archaic idea of basketball. But we all have already established that Boylen is just not good, and he's a guy who somehow was thrust into this head coaching position, even though he's basically stuck in, pick your year, 1995, 85, 75, 65, if you will. The lack of just understanding how you would use Markkanen today, it's just so weird, you know? And I just hope the Bulls fire the guy already, because they're a talented enough roster. And, you know, if you got a healthy Otto Porter and whatever else, they could be exciting. But it's almost like this team is wasted as long as Boylen is there. Now, there's still conversations to be had about how good Levine and Markkanen are or whatever. But, god damn it, man. Just Jim frickin' Boylen in 2020. I mean, do we remember how early was it established that the players hated him? Like a week? Because he did that he like wanted him to practice 1,000,000 hours. And it wasn't just that, he wanted them to do like sprints and doing push-ups and stuff. Like, what are you doing, man? This is the NBA. You shouldn't be tiring your guys out on an off day with crazy sprints and stuff. Like, what? You know, I can understand you run some shoot-arounds and you might have some sort of a light practice just to go over your sets or whatever, but the regular season is so draining, and the day-to-day, the travel and everything, like, you're going to tire them out even more? Now, this was established a long time ago. We know this, and I've said all this before. I'm basically repeating things that I've said in this video, but whatever, you know? Is it so wrong to make fun of Jim Boylen when a new dumb Jim Boylen thing comes out? I don't think it is, because we're all in agreement on this one, you know what I mean? There's other things. There's a clip of him calling a timeout when Ryan Arcidiacono is about to get a wide open layup. There's another thing of him saying that the Bulls should strive to get 35 assists a game, whereas that would break the Lakers' record from 1985 by like 4 assists. And that team had Magic Johnson and stuff, you know what I mean? It's like one of the all-time great teams. And the Bulls should be getting more assists per game than them. Basically what I'm getting at is, when you look at the totality of Jim Boylen, and then you see this where he says that Markkanen should focus on getting rebounds instead of him actually running sets for Markkanen and stuff, because we all know the guy's talented, it just doesn't surprise you. Doesn't surprise you. But the fact that this guy is a head coach in the NBA, it's honestly a joke. Like, it's actually disrespectful to not just Chicago Bulls fans, but NBA fans in general. Because you are putting this product, like, people pay money to go to Bulls games. They've got like the best attendance in the league, even when the team isn't good. I want to quote something I saw from Reddit, because it was really funny, and I think it sums up Jim Boylen pretty well. Somebody on Reddit said, this guy coaches like a 50-year-old high school coach that read a John Wooden book once. It's pretty perfect. And there's a dude under that who says, remember in Coach Carter when he spends 90% of practice time on defense and then just says, I want you to run on offense? I think it's pretty accurate. Not only is Boylen being a coach an insult to people going to Bulls games, it's an insult to people watching Bulls games as well. Here's another quote that I remember. It was something like the Bulls lost, I think it was to the Warriors, who of course were really bad this year. And Boylen said something to the idea of like, well, it's not that bad because of whatever reason. And then the Bulls like local telecast or whatever were basically just like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? This is the worst loss of the season. You lost to like a 12-win team or something. And it's just like, it seems like Boylen at times, he wants to be the super tough guy. Other times he wants to be all chill and, oh, I'm a player's coach, but he doesn't know when to do it. Like, you think about a coach like Phil Jackson, right? Maybe the most chill, zen, successful coach you can think of. Maybe Steve Kerr is another one, okay? But those guys would still get on their players when they needed to. I mean, that's what a real good coach would be. You know, it's a guy who is able to really identify when do I get on my players and when do I kind of back off. And if you're not going to get on your guys when they lose a very winnable game against a bad team, then you really don't know when to pick your battles. Especially when you want your guys to do sprints and push-ups like a week into you being the new head coach. I think I'm done. You get it. Jim Boylen's a bad coach. Hopefully they fire him. But once again, just to reiterate, Jim Boylen said about Lauri Markkanen that he should worry about getting more defensive rebounds instead of Boylen running actual sets for the guy. It's pretty much all you need to know.